We're finally here!
We are here!
After completing the 112% gauntlet, which is Hollow Knight, I had to skyrocket into Silksong.
This was an incredible journey, Shots!
Exactly! Team Cherry delivered on the graphics, the story, and every single boss.
Show them who's boss.
Oh, I will.
Now, in order to acquire the Platinum Trophy, we're gonna need to finish the game and achieve 100% game completion.
Wow!
We need to complete the game in under 5 hours. And we also need to achieve 100% game completion and finish the game in under 30 hours.
I hope you're ready, Shots. Hollow Knight made you crash out.
We'll let the crashing commence. We're introduced to the game's protagonist, Hornet, and apparently, she's been captured.
No, duh.
As the soldiers of the Citadel transported her towards the cradle, a strange Lumafly appeared and granted her her Weaver ability. And after activating it, things didn't go as planned, and unfortunately, she fell into the depths of Pharloom.
Wait, it's the end of the game already?
Nope, this is just the beginning. Once Hornet regained consciousness, we found ourselves in Mas Grotto, and it was at this moment where I recognized the beauty, and the music, and most definitely the movement. But the nostalgic high subsided very quickly once we ran into our first boss.
Uh-oh, Shots. It's the Moss Mother!
As expected, a huge W.
Nothing like a little warm-up, boss.
After defeating the Moss Mother, we ran into the Chapel Maid who had insight on our quest in reaching the Great Citadel to confront the one who had us captured.
And I will have my revenge.
And with that, we have our first objective.
But we should explore first, Shots.
Most definitely. So we pushed on into Bone Bottom and we met a few sad pilgrims. We made a new friend in Sherma, and we grazed through the Marrow where we found our first tool. And we got our first trophy.
I'm a collector of rare and exotic trophies.
Later on, we ran into Chakra, and not only is she a warrior, but she's the map maker of these lands, so I'm sure we'll see her soon. Now, shortly after linking up with Chakra, we found a strange statue, so we binded it, and acquired our first silk skill, the Silk Spear.
Oh yeah, Shots. I forgot you were a spear chucker.
Spear chucker.
Spear chucker?
Yes.
Well, chucking spears got me a trophy, shotty.
Another one.
So we went back to exploring until we ran into the Bell Beast, which we liberated, and we acquired our first of 3 Silk Hearts.
Now you'll be able to produce silk more quickly, Shots.
Then, we returned to Bone Bottom and granted our first wish, granting us the Granted Trophy.
You've got the grant.
You need to keep exploring, Shots.
Okay, so we kept exploring, and we ran into the Deep Docks, where we met Flea Master Mushka, and he needed our help in finding all of his flea friends.
Noted.
Now we kept along the path until we ran into another one of those strange statues, so we binded it and acquired our second silk skill, the Swift Step.
Wow! Now your sprint button works, Shots.
I finally got it working.
Now we're not done exploring the Deep Docks, so we dove a lot deeper until we encountered our first skill check boss, Lace.
Less talking, more punching.
That Lace fight was sick, and honestly I feel like we're gonna see her again, but we need to stay focused. So we pushed the path and ended up in the far fields where we discovered a fallen boss. We also met up with Chakra and purchased a map, but more importantly, this is where we were able to find the seamstress, and she needed our help in finding flexible spines. So we traveled outward finding the flexible spines and returned them to the seamstress, and this is what she created.
Whoa, Shots, that's the Drifter's Cloak. Now you can fly high in the sky.
Absolutely. So we used our new ability to explore new paths in this area until we found our first mass shard, but we're gonna need 19 more in order to get the mass trophy.
Damn.
Now on our way out of the far fields, we had to pass up that fallen boss, and this is what happened. Now after defeating the 4th chorus, we opened up the rest of the far fields and found the Pilgrim's Rest, where we linked up with Sherma and Mort, but I wasn't able to purchase anything because I didn't have any money.
You're broke! You're fucking broke!
So we finally flew out of the far fields and arrived in a new area called Greymoor. This is where we were able to find the halfway home, which is ran by the innkeeper Creech. But even more so, we were able to speak to Nu, who gave us the Hunter's Journal. And this Hunter's Journal is super important because we need to complete it in order to get the Keen Hunter and the True Hunter trophies.
Yo, Shots, now you need to become a true hunter.
Now prove that you are a true hunter.
I will. Now after leaving the halfway home, we encountered our first lockdown.
Those lockdowns are really cool. You have to defeat all of the enemies in order to advance.
This is correct. We advanced further into Greymoor and we ran into a bit of a roadblock. This is the Moorwing, a stupid little bug that has 2 different phases and 4 different attacks and moves super unorthodox. So we attacked and attacked and attacked.
And died and died and died.
So I took a break and explored even deeper into Greymoor.
Maybe there's something or someone out there that can help you, Shots.
Exactly. This is Garmin and Zaza, and they're a friendly duo and they're both warriors of Pharloom, and they promised to help us in our battle against the Moorwing. So it's time to return for redemption. Yeah, that's me. It was a tough fight.
No, it is not.
Now on the way to the next area, I definitely caught a weird vibe, and this is what we saw.
Shots, why is everybody spun up in webs?
There's a spider nearby, so stay close.
Yes, sir.
Since there's nothing that we can do here in the haunted Bellheart, we decided to move to the next area, Shellwood. In this area, we were able to link up with Chakra for a new map, and we also met Greyroot for a side quest.
Be careful, Shots, I don't like her.
Don't worry about her, Shotty, she's fine. Now we need to head back to Greymoor because there's more to explore. Once we arrived, we encountered a brand new lockdown against the Crawfeathers. It was a pretty cool fight, and once we defeated all of the enemies, we unlocked a brand new path to the top area in Greymoor. This is where we ran into another one of those strange statues. So we binded it and acquired the Threadstorm, one of the most deadliest attacks in this game.
Wow, Shots, you're getting stronger now.
Quicker and stronger, much stronger.
We found our second spool fragment for the restored trophy.
Nice, Shots, now you'll have more soul capacity.
Next, we found our first chapel, the Chapel of the Reaper. And once we were deep inside, we entered a lockdown. And after defeating every single enemy, we were able to claim the Crest of the Reaper. And we also claimed the Claim Trophy.
Claim your throne.
Claim my throne.
Now it's time to head back to Shellwood. I'm sure we're not done there.
You're definitely not done with Shellwood, Shots. You have a super boss to fight.
Who?
Introducing Sister Splinter!
This is the Sister Splinter. She's the deadliest enemy in all of Shellwood, and she has 2 different phases and 4 different attacks. So it's time to pull out that weed whacker so we can get this weed whacked. After defeating the Sister Splinter, we opened up a brand new path. So we followed it to the end and we found a strange statue.
It's that time.
So we binded it, and what was our find?
You acquired the clean grip, Shots. Now you can grapple onto walls.
Perfect. We need the clean grip in order to access the next area.
And according to my calculations, calculations, we should be closing in on the spider that's on top of the haunted bellheart.
That's correct, Shotty, but this is the Widow, one of the strongest weavers in all of Pharloom, and she has 3 different phases and 10 different attacks, so it's time to lock in, because this boss can slap.
Tell him you're taking advantage of a poor old widow.
You acquired the needling. Now you can make some cool beats.
I see what you did there, Shotty. So now, we freed up the haunted bellheart from its curse. This is the true bellheart, a beautiful city deep in the heart of Pharloom, where we met our old friend Sherma, and we also made some new friends in Pavo, Shopkeeper Frey, Relic Seeker Scrounge, and Pinmaster Plenty, who gave us our first nail upgrade.
Powerful weapon we've ever come across.
After greeting everyone in Bellheart, we made it to the next area in Hunter's March. This is where we defeated one of the toughest lockdowns in the game. We linked up with Chakra and purchased a brand new map, and then we found ourselves in the Chapel of the Beast. It was a bit tricky navigating, but once we made it to the end, we encountered the Savage Beastfly. This is one of the most annoying bosses in the game, and I struggled a bit.
That's an understatement.
But with a little bit of practice and learning his rhythm, he'll be destroyed. Now, after defeating the Savage Beastfly, we claimed our second crest, the Crest of the Beast. After leaving the Hunter's March, we made it to the Blasted Steps.
It's a dusty, windy, treacherous area, Shots.
Yes, indeed. This is where we linked up with Chakra for a brand new map, and we also met Lumble the Lucky, but I dipped quickly because he's a scammer. Scammers! Now, after exploring furthermore through the Blasted Steps, we ran into our next boss, the Great Conchflies. And after we defeated one, the other one ran. Now, a brand new pathway opened up, leading us straight to the Pinstress, who taught us the Needle Strike.
Nice! Now your enemies won't know what hit them.
Now, after acquiring the Needle Strike, we headed over to the opposite side of the Blasted Steps to complete our objective, but we ran into the last judge.
Shots? I honestly don't think that you're ready.
I definitely wasn't ready, so we headed to a new area in Sinner's Road where we met Styx, we got a side quest from Krillin Benjin, and we freed the Green Prince. But honestly, the last judge kept looming in my mind. This is the last judge, the final surviving High Judge of Pharloom, and she's the final arbiter guarding the Grand Gate of the Citadel. Now, she has 2 different phases and 9 different attacks, and I died a lot of times to her, so it's time for payback.
It's gonna kill the judge next.
We're finally at the Citadel, and we're one step closer to that confrontation. But first, we need to take this elevator.
Shots, I think this is going the wrong way.
Does anything work around here?
After Hornet regained consciousness from that brutal fall, we found ourselves in the Underworks. This place is the infrastructure of the Citadel, and we need to get the hell out.
We're out of here.
So we grabbed the map, we defeated a mandatory lockdown, and we arrived at the Coral Chambers. Here's where we grabbed a brand new map, and we ran into one of our old foes, Lace.
Another boss fight already?
Not quite, but a stern warning for reaching this far. So we did some exploration around the Coral Chambers until we reached the first shrine, and once we unlocked it, we met the caretaker, who really didn't like our actions. Regardless, we set off for more exploration and we ran into our next boss, the Cogwork Dancers. Now I did die to him one time and it sent me back to the first shrine, and come to find out, this place is called the Songclave.
You tricked me!
Anywho, we headed back to the Cogwork Dancers, and let's just say, we danced.
I'm afraid I can't dance with a stranger.
After defeating the Cogwork Dancers, a new pathway was available. This is where we linked up with Sherma again. We found the Green Prince who we freed in Sinner's Road. We solved the puzzle and acquired a Cogwork piece.
Yo, Shots, what's that?
I'm not sure, Shotty, but when the time is right, I'm sure we'll know.
Yo, Shots, I think you should head back to the Underworks. You might find something interesting there.
As much as I hate to admit it, you're right. So unfortunately, we headed back to the Underworks to a place called the Cauldron. But fortunately, we found our next silk skill, the Claw Line.
Nice, Shots. Now you can practically grapple to anything.
Now after escaping the Cauldron, we made a new friend in the 12th Architect, and we also made it to a new area, the Cogwork Core. Now this area is super technical, kind of like the White Palace or even the Path of Pain.
Let us never speak of that again.
But fortunately, we found a mass shard, and we found a pathway leading to the Whispering Vaults, and we met another friend in the Vault Keeper Cardenas.
Yes, sir. He accepts old relics in exchange for currency.
And before leaving the Whispering Vaults, we solved another puzzle and acquired another Cogwork piece, Shotty.
I got you, Shots.
So it's time to head back to the Coral Chambers for more exploration. And of course, we ran into our next boss.
Introducing Trobbio!
This is Trobbio, the master of the stage, the brush, and the voice. And he has 2 different phases and 5 different attacks. Please don't underestimate this boss, because his tool is definitely smack.
He's definitely a drama queen. Anyway, Shots, you should head back to the Farfields. Now that you have the claw line, you can access a new area.
That's exactly what we did. We found the secret area, and this is what happened.
Shots? What's happening? Oh no! Go, go, go! Jump! The floor is lava!
absolute insanity. And now that we have our 4th mass shard, we got the protected trophy.
Protection. Protection. Protection from who?
After all of that insanity, I wanted to clean up the Whispering Vaults, so we headed back and I grabbed the map. I also unlocked a shortcut to the Songclave, and we completed a puzzle which yielded a pale oil, which is needed for a nail upgrade. So of course we headed back to Pinmaster Plenty.
This is another upgrade.
Now we did forget an item in the far fields, so we headed back, but unfortunately this happened.
Watch your mouth, young man.
Unfortunately, we've been captured and transported to the Slab, the Citadel's prison for heretics and sinners.
And I'm neither, and you're both.
So we explored the Slab and found the key of the Indolent, and then we opened up a pathway to the top of the Slab and followed it around until we ran into this fool.
She's going to kill you all.
Once we reclaimed our belongings, we acquired the key of the heretic and we got
the hell out of there. Fast.
This is where we immediately ran into a brand new area, Mount Fae. This area is a true test to your platforming skills in Silksong. All of the abilities that we've acquired thus far will truly be challenged to the max. We descended through dangerous valleys and ascended through narrow, spiky pathways. It was honestly a beautiful experience, and once we made it to the top of Mount Fae, we ran into the Fae Forn, who awarded us the Fae Down Cloak. This is one of the most underrated abilities in this game, the double jump.
Nice shots! Now you can jump to new areas!
Yes, like the Memoriam. Here, we were able to collect Materium, we saved a huge flea, we completed a puzzle and collected our final cog heart piece, and we opened up the Ventrica station to this area.
Yo, shots! You should take it!
We did, and we ended up in the High Halls. In this area, we ended up finding the map, and we opened the final Ventrica station, giving us the transported trophy.
A transport! I'm saved!
Next, we completed a couple side quests, then we headed back to the halfway home to link back up with Nu, who gave us the Keen Hunter trophy for granting his wish. And he tried to give us something else.
Wow!
After we slapped the living daylights out of Nu, we headed to a brand new area, the Wormways. In this area, we found a weave nest.
Weave nest kinda!
And we found one of our favorite statue things. And of course, we binded it and we acquired the sharp dart.
That is sharp.
Before leaving the Wormways, we made a new friend in the alchemist Xylitol. So we did a side quest for him and he rewarded us with a brand new tool, the Plasmium File. Afterwards, we headed to the bottom of the deep docks to unlock that huge door.
Oh no! I wonder what's inside!
These are the Foreman brothers, Cygnus and Gron. They're the overseers of all of the deep docks. And they have 3 different phases and 9 different attacks. This fight sure was fun.
That's facts. Facts.
After we defeated the Foreman brothers, we found the diving bell, but more on that later, and we acquired our first home, in Bellheart.
Shots? I hope you're ready, man. I see you just took yourself a nice little nap. But hey, something epic's around the horizon. I hope you're ready. You just completed Act 1 and Act 2, and if you want to make it to the end game, you have to conquer this battle. Let's go!
Well, well, well. If it isn't the Forum, this is by far the hardest lockdown in all of Silksong.
And some say that this is more difficult than the hardest boss.
Yes, this is true. This is the Forum, a grueling gauntlet featuring 11 waves of enemies, each wave being harder than the last. And to top it off, in the final wave, you have to fight 2 mini-bosses, the Choir Clappers. These Choir Clappers might not look intimidating, but they're the hardest mini-bosses in the game.
Whoa.
They offer 5 different attacks: the Lunge Clap, the Jumping Clap, the Silk Slam, Silk Implosions, and of course, the Retreat. So I decided to get my feet wet and jump in there. And after trying and dying and 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 trying and dying for 4 hours straight, I finally realized you gotta fight them from the air. After we defeated the Forum, we finally gained access to Conductor Ballador. He's one of 3 conductors of the Citadel, known as the highest of the high, each holding one part of a 3-fold song, and he taught us the conductor's melody. Then we headed deeper into the Whispering Vaults and we found a psalm cylinder belonging to Cardenius' brother. So we took it back to Vault Keeper Cardenius and he taught us the Vault Keeper's melody.
Nice shots, now you only knew the Architect's melody.
100% shotty, but first we headed to a brand new area, the Petrified Ducks.
I don't think I even need to say this, shots, but
it's creepy, so let's get the map, let's get the Wreath of Purity, let's complete that side quest for our new friend the Huntress, and let's go to a much less scarier place like Sinner's Road, where we met our next boss, the disgraced Chef Luboli, who gave me a little bit of trouble because her movement was ass.
What's all that movement back there? What's all that movement back there?
But after we deflated her BBL, she was defeated, and we got the Pickled Muck Maggot.
Yo, shots, BBL smell.
Yes, indeed. Now we headed to a new region called Bowwater. It's a very tricky area with very tricky enemies. But first we got a trophy for connecting all of Pharloom's bellways.
Connected is important.
And after traversing all of Bowwater, we finally ran into Grohl the Great, who we defeated by swimming with the maggots.
You're making the maggots cry.
After we defeated Grohl the Great, we collected the Seeker's Soul and we headed to a brand new area called the Sands of Karak.
It's a desolate, stormy desert known for its challenging platformings.
It's definitely one of the hardest places to traverse in Silksong. Regardless, we found Chakra and bought a new map. We dove deep into the Sands of Karak and found the Crust Nut, and we unlocked what appears to be a shortcut.
Because you're a cheater.
Now we followed the pathway and look who it is. It's the Raging Conchfly, and he's raging for revenge. Now he's a little bit faster than his brother that we defeated back in the Blasted Steppes, but here is where the Conchfly lineage ends.
You destroy the last of our lineage.
From here, we headed back to the Coral Chambers and met up with the loyal Mergwin, who needed our help in finding all of the ingredients so he can serve his master. Now we already have the Pickled Muck Maggot from that big booty chef, and we got the Crust Nut from the Sands of Karak, so we just need to get the rest. So we headed over to the Moss Droid and Moss Home and created the Mossberry Stew. Then we backtracked to Creech in the Halfway Home and defeated a small gauntlet in order to acquire the Vintage Nectar. And we completed a side quest in delivering a special type of meat to the loyal Mergwin. The only trick is, the longer it takes us, the food spoils. And if I take damage, the food takes damage. And what did I do?
Well, of course you took damage, shots.
I did, but fortunately we arrived in time and then this happened. After completing the side quests, the loyal Mergwin gave us a brand new pale oil, so we headed to Pinmaster Plenty for a brand new upgrade. Then we received a side quest to help Chakra find her master, and when we did, we shared a special moment together. Later on, we returned to the Cogwork Core and ascended to the top where we had to complete a puzzle learning the Architect's melody.
Nice shots! I think that was the last
one. And I know exactly what to do with it now.
Shots, this is it. Once you take that elevator, you'll be able to confront the one who had you captured.
We definitely will, later. But for now, I think it's time to clean up. So we headed down to the Cogwork Core and we found a secret area containing the second Sentinel. Yo, Shotty, you remember those cog heart pieces we found?
Yeah?
Well, all three of them create a heart, and once we put it inside the second Sentinel, she came alive.
That was a good deed, Shots.
You are a good person.
Next, we headed to a brand new area, the Mist.
Also known as the trickiest area in the game.
Exactamundo.
Let me explain. Every time you leave from one room to another, the previous room changes, and I can't tell you how frustrating that was.
Shots is like, is it this room? No! Is it this room? No! Is it this room? No!
It wasn't until we used the butterflies to our advantage to find our way out, and once we did, they led us straight to the exhaust organ, which is where we found our next boss, the Fantom. Now she has 3 different phases and 9 different attacks, and 1 killer organ, and I need that.
Surprised that the Phantom's back.
After we defeated the Fantom, we gained her ability, the Cross Stitch.
It's kinda useful, I guess.
Later on, we returned to the Songclave and we received a side quest from the second Sentinel. And once we sought her out, she was ready for a fight. But after we defeated the second Sentinel, she wanted to become friends and she gave us the Reserve Bind.
She's my best friend, not yours.
Now I'm really ready to complete this game, but do you remember Flea Master Mushka from Act 1?
How can I forget, Shots? He needs us to find all of his fleas.
Exactly, and the very next flea that we found gave us the Flea Finder trophy for finding half of the fleas in Pharloom.
You think this is a flea market?
Then we headed back to the Petrified Ducks and used an unusual way of transportation in order to find our next flea, Fox, who was able to sell us the Flea Finder maps. Now, all of the missing fleas have been added to our map, so we backtracked to every single region and found every single missing flea. And once we returned to Flea Master Mushka, he was delighted. So he offered us a ride to Fleetopia, where he gave us the Flea Friend trophy.
Plus, it's a flea collar.
No, it's not. But Shots, it's that time.
I guess it's that time.
It's been a long time coming, but it's definitely that time for that confrontation. But first, we ran into an old friend, Lace. Now she's 2 times stronger and twice as fast. Disrespectful little child, time for belt to ass.
just broke.
And after defeating Lace for the second time, we got the White Knight trophy and our second Silk Heart. Unlocking the door to the cradle.
It's time for that confrontation, Shots.
Yes, it is. So we ascended to the top of the cradle and this is who we saw. This is Grandmother Silk, the powerful queen of the kingdom of Pharloom, the mother of Lace, and the one that had us captured. So she has 6 phases and 7 different attacks. She has the Blade Flurry, Blade Walls, the Claw Swipe, the Glide, Silk Webs, Debris Rain, and she also has the Spike Pull. But honestly, she was way too easy.
I really didn't like that ending, bro.
Neither did I, but let's see if we can find some better outcomes in the next 2 endings from the Snared Silk Trophy and the Twisted Child Trophy for defeating Grandmother Silk while cursed.
It's a blessing and a curse.
So for the Snared Silk Trophy, we already got the Seeker's Soul from Bellwater, so we headed down to Bone Bottom and spoke to the Chapel Maid and acquired the Maiden's Soul. Then we went into the depths of Bellheart and acquired the Hermit's Soul from the Bell Hermit. We weaved our way down into Weave Nest Alta and acquired the Snare Setter, and we found a boundless spirit named Eva, who upgraded our Hunter's Crest, and she gave us the Vesty Crest where we can equip an extra tool.
Cool!
Now, we need to go collect a special item so we can defeat Grandmother Silk while we're cursed.
Yo, Shots, I already feel weird.
Man, you got a curse on you.
So we headed down into the depths of Bellwater and found a secret cave containing the Twisted Bud.
Yo, Shots, what the hell is that thing?
I'm not sure, but it's kinda cute when you mess with it in the inventory.
I think something is seriously wrong with you.
Next, we headed back to Shellwood to link up with Greyroot, but unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. It turns out that the Greyroot implanted the Twisted Bud inside of us. Now we're cursed, tired and exhausted.
Hey bro, come on now, dawg.
And we can't do special attacks or heal. And we gotta defeat Grandmother Silk while we're cursed.
Come on, man.
So we returned to Grandmother Silk to complete the deed. But unfortunately, not being able to heal turned this into a whole nother ball game.
Being cursed made this boss the hardest fight in the game. But in the end, she was defeated. Kinda.
Now I'm grateful for the Twisted Child trophy, but we gotta get this curse out of our body. So we headed to Greymore to link up with a new friend in Yarnaby, who told us if we collected steel spines that she would help us out. So we headed to Sinner's Road and purchased the steel spines from Kroll and Benjen, and then returned to Yarnaby for our operation. And then this happened. The operation was a success, and we acquired the Crest of the Witch. Now it's time for our third ending, and after defeating Grandmother Silk while cursed, this time around was a piece of cake. And once we defeated her, we played the needle in on her face.
GG, Shots! I can't believe Lace saved your life after you defeated her 2 times!
Neither can I, but we need to find out why.
Yo, Shots, in Act 1, Hornet fell from the Citadel. In Act 2, she fell from the elevator. In Act 3, she fell from the cradle. Why does she keep falling?
Why would I know?
I have no idea, Shotty, but once Hornet regained her consciousness, we tried to head down into the coral chambers where we were greeted with enemies overcome by the abyss.
They had to make the game harder, didn't they?
Of course they did. Once we arrived to what was left of the Songclave, we ran into Sherma.
He's alive?
And she was wearing the caretaker's robe and told us that if we wanted to find him, that we'd have to go to Mos Grotto. So we called for our Bell Beast, but we ended up getting this thing. And we headed down only to find out that that was our next boss, the Bell Eater. And after we defeated the Bell Eater...
Wait, Shots, no we didn't. Your Bell Beast did.
I stand corrected. Once our Bell Beast defeated the Bell Eater, she showed us her new babies and they taught us the Beastling Call.
Nice, Shots. Now you can fast travel from anywhere.
So we finally made it to Mos Grotto and spoke to the Snail Shamans, and they told us that the only way we will be able to find Lace is to get to the Abyss through the Deep Docks, where we spoke to Balo and he tuned up the diving bell for transportation. And once Balo released us, this is what happened. This is the Abyss, home of the Void.
I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here.
Okay, Shotty, let's find Lace. So we found a new map, we found a couple collectibles, and we finally found Lace, who still doesn't believe that Hornet has what it takes to truly defeat Grandmother Silk, but Hornet reassured her she'll be back.
I'll be back.
After we spoke to Lace, we explored deeper into the Abyss.
Come on, Shots, hurry!
And we made it to Weave Nest Absalom, where we found a beautiful strange statue. So we binded it and we acquired one of the coolest abilities in the game, the Silk Sword.
Oh, soar the hell out of here!
Well, I'm trying, but this is a damn maze! After we escaped the Abyss, we returned to the Snail Shamans and they told us in order to dive into the Lake of the Void, we would need to collect 3 hearts in order to manifest the Everbloom. So they taught us the Elegy of the Deep, and for now, our objective has been updated.
Don't forget to use your Silksong ability!
That's true. We used our new Silksong ability to explore the Chapel of the Shaman, and we acquired the Shaman's Crest.
Nice, Shots, you only need 1 more!
Exactly, so we headed over to the Chapel of the Wanderer and we completed another lockdown, we acquired the Wanderer's Crest, and we acquired the Consume Trophy.
Trophy.
Next, we linked up with the Green Prince at the edge of Greymoor and used the Elegy of the Deep to make it to a new area, Las Verdania. This area is very unique, and in order to progress, we needed to find 3 Essence statues and collect its orbs. And once we did, we ran into our next boss, the Pale Stag. It was a different kind of fight compared to the others, but once we figured him out, he was defeated. So we collected all of its orbs, leading us to our final boss of Las Verdania, the Green Prince, and his partner, the Clover Dancers. Now they were tough, and actually, they make the Cogwork Dancers look like child's play. But unfortunately for them, Hornet is almost at her final form, and they just weren't ready.
A sick fatality, Shots. And now you've acquired the conjoined heart. You've only have 2 more left.
2 hearts left, huh?
You broke my heart.
Well, we're finally at the end game, and before we collect those last 2 hearts, I want to clean up everything else. So we returned to Flea Master Mushka as he started the Flea Festival, which is composed up of 3 mini-games, and I must say, I aced all 3.
Hashtag humble brag. Hashtag killing it.
And as a token of his appreciation for everything that we've done for him and his fleas, he gave us a pale oil, which we can use for our final nail upgrade. But first, we used our new Silksong ability to find a secret area, and we found a strange monument giving us the Passing of the Age side quest, which is needed for the Passing of the Age trophy.
Obviously.
So we returned to Pinmaster Plenty, but unfortunately he wasn't there. And once we found him, we saved him and he was delighted. And once we gave him our pale oil, he gave us our final nail upgrade.
Hola.
Greatest weapon known to man.
Now it's time to clean up a brand new area known as the White Ward, a place used to experiment on bugs.
That's it, Shots. I'm out of here. Call me when you leave this area.
I got you, Shotty. So as we explored the White Ward, we found bugs with silk coming out of their heads, possessed doctors running around with knives, but regardless, we found a secret storage containing the key needed in order to find our next boss, the Unraveled. And to be honest, he was a joke, but thankfully he gave us our final Silk Heart and the Regenerated Trophy.
He's regenerating.
Now it's time to return to the slab for a proper cleansing, and we ended up finding a secret area leading to our next boss. But we had to break the 4 seals holding her in, and once we did, we found a strange statue, our final strange statue. So we binded it and acquired one of the hardest boss fights in the game. This is the first sinner, the most powerful weaver in all of Pharloom, and she has 2 different phases and 6 different attacks. So it's time to free her from this prison and make sure that she never comes back.
A sinner and I didn't even know it.
After defeating the first sinner, she allowed us to bind her power, so we binded it and we acquired the Rune Rage skill.
Sick fight, Shots, and hey, you only have 1 skill left.
That's right, so we headed back to the cradle where Lay saved us from Grandmother Silk and binded the same arm that she cut from her, acquiring the Pale Nail skill and the Whoopin' Trophy.
You have the skills.
I have the skills.
So we headed back to Greymoor and defeated the Crawdaddy. We scaled up to Mount Faye and defeated the Pinstress.
Pinning him down to the ground and
we purchased our last tool for the Arsenal Trophy. We found our last spool fragment to get extended.
Extensively.
We traveled all the way down to the Farfields and defeated Gur the Outcast.
I deserve to be an outcast.
We got our final Mass Shard and got the Mass Trophy. Then we upgraded all of our crests with memory lockets and returned to Eva where she upgraded our Vesty crest, our Hunter's crest, and for her final offering, she offered her soul. So we binded it and acquired the Silksong and the Entwined Trophy.
Nice, Shots. Now you can regenerate silk at any bench.
Lastly, we couldn't find the final map, so we returned to the place where we found the Green Prince and we found the Verdania map, giving us the cartographer trophy.
Cartograph much?
Now that we've completed a lot of cleaning and cleansing, it's time to get the rest of the old hearts. But first, I wanted to check out the stage.
Wait, Shots, don't do it! Oh man!
Wait, I thought we already defeated Trobbio.
He can never die, Shots! Introducing Tormented! Trobbio!
This is Tormented Trobbio, who's now influenced by the Void. He's twice as fast and hits twice as hard, and his tools will definitely catch you off guard. Now, he still has 2 different phases and 5 different attacks, and he's one of the hardest bosses in the game. And I'll leave it at that.
His soul tormented by the grief of a family stolen from him.
Shots. Now you have the claw mirror and the dark mirror.
Now it's finally time to acquire those last 2 old hearts.
Finally!
So we return deep into the far fields and access the brand new area, meeting the Ant Queen herself, Scar Singer Carmelita. Now she was way out of her prime, but she allowed us to use the Elegy of the Deep so we can face combat against a gauntlet of her ants, and of course Carmelita herself. Now it was a beautiful fight, and she has a whole bunch of attacks in her bag, like the Twirl Slash, the Triple Slash, and her favorite, the Bone Charge. But was it enough to defeat me?
Hell no.
Once we defeated Carmelita, we woke up from her dream and she gave her life for us to have the Hunter's Heart.
That was very kind of her. Now, Shots, you actually have 2 hearts left on the map, but you only need to complete 1 since you defeated the Green Prince. Which one are you gonna choose?
I choose the Heart of the Woods, which is a secret area behind the Grand Gate. And once we unlocked it, we ran into one of our next bosses, Seth, the Guardian. Now I'm pretty sure Team Cherry meant for this guy to be a mini-boss, but unfortunately for me, he was one of the hardest bosses in the game. His movement is crazy and his timing is insane. But with a little bit of perseverance, Seth the Guardian was slain.
I remember that fight. It was brutal.
After that brutal experience, we made it to our next boss, Nyleth, the ancient heart of Sherwood, the mother of Sister Splinter. And to be honest, she was the easiest boss in the game.
Was way too easy.
After we defeated Nyleth, we acquired the Pollen Heart, and now that we have 3 hearts, it's time to return to the Snail Shamans, who were super surprised to see that we had all 3. So they kept their word, and then this is what happened. Because of the Snail Shaman's sacrifice, we were able to access the Red Memory. Now Hornet can confront her past and people like Vespa, the powerful White Lady, and of course, her mother, Hera the Beast. And once we confronted all of the Weavers, we acquired the Everbloom and the Remembrance Trophy.
I remember.
Yo, Shots, now that you have the Everbloom, the only thing that you have to do now is defeat Lace.
That's true, but if we want to get the Platinum Trophy, we need to complete 1 final cleanse. So we returned to the Blasted Steps and we ran into Zaza. So we followed him and unfortunately we ran into Garment, Lost Garment. And unfortunately, we had to take his soul.
I miss Garment.
I do too, shotty, but we need to complete this Hunter's Memento. So we blasted off into the Coral Towers and defeated a gauntlet of brand new bugs. And once we ascended to the top, we defeated the Crust King, Khan.
That's not the right Khan, man.
Now, it's time to complete the Passing of the Age side quest, and in order to do so, we're gonna need to summon Mr. Mushroom in the Ruined Chapel. We summoned him while he was lurking in the Marrow. We found him hiding out in the far fields. We caught him slipping in Greymoor. We freed him from the prison in the Slab. We found him at the apex point of Mount Fae chilling with the Faeforn. And lastly, we had to scale a brand new area, the Nameless Town, one of the hardest platforming areas in this game. And once we arrived to the top, we finally found Mr. Mushroom and completed the Passing of the Age side quests. Later on, we returned to New and turned in all of the mementos that we've acquired, giving us the Hunter's Memento.
You have proven yourself as a true hunter.
Spoken like a true hunter.
Now everything is led up to this final moment, so it's time for our last dive. And once we reach the core of the void, this is what we saw. This is Lost Lace, the void corrupted daughter of Grandmother Silk, and the secret and true final boss of Silksong. Now she has 3 different phases and 9 different attacks, and it's time to take away from Grandmother Silk, someone that she can never get back.
She's lost her mind!
After we defeated Lost Lace, her mother gave us the power to escape the void, but then this happened.
Is that who I thought it was?
Yes, this is the one and only Hollow Knight, the Void Shade Lord. And here we can see him taking Hornet and Lace to safety, giving us the Sister of the Void trophy. And we also got the Passing of the Age trophy.
And after 88 hours, we got the Completion trophy.
The prophecy has been fulfilled!
Yo, Shats, you only have 2 trophies left. Speedrunner trophy and Speed Completion.
2 of the hardest trophies in the game. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've been dreading the Speedrunner trophies since I first saw them, but it was much easier than I thought it'd be. Using PlayStation's Cloud Save feature made the speedruns a piece of cake.
Thank you, Lord!
So on our speedrunners journey, we defeated Fantom in order to get to Act 2, then we defeated the Forum.
This is the hardest part of the speedrun. It should have taken us 2 hours, but technically it only took us 2 minutes.
Then we collected all of the melodies, ultimately defeating Grandmother Silk for the Speedrunner trophy in 2.5 hours.
Damn, that was fast.
Now the good thing about the Speedrunner trophies, you can use the same game file to complete the 30-hour run, where we went back to each area collecting all shards, full fragments, silk skills and hearts, tools, weapon upgrades, all crests. We binded with Diva one last time, and we got the Everbloom again, ultimately being able to defeat Lost Lace for the Speed Completion trophy. And of course, that elusive platinum, baby.
What an incredible journey, Shots! I think this is one of your best platinums!
What an explosive game with a super compelling story, and you can't forget the elite mechanics. I absolutely love Team Cherry, and to be honest, this game is my game of the year for 2025.
Expedition 33 isn't making any DLCs.
So for the rating for Silksong, I'm definitely giving it a 9.5, and I can't wait for the DLCs. See you soon. Peace.
See you there, see you soon, see you sorrow, later.